Well, I found it surprising because Asia as a region is known to be on the cutting edge of a lot of mobile technology with a huge adoption of smartphones. I believe the entries are low for a number of reasons. I think primarily some excellent work, especially in the apps part of the mobile industry, has been done by developers who simply don't know about these awards. Agencies, of course, know about AdFest. But you have to remember that a lot of mobile work is done by organizations that are not agencies. They are not at the moment really knowledgeable about all kinds of awards, so I believe they simply don't know that these awards exist. This is from my own experience talking to a number of mobile developers. So I think the situation is we have lots of great mobile work out there, a lot of it still not being entered due to the awareness or the lack of awareness of the advertising awards like these. Of course, that can be solved with, as people become more aware of the shows, that should help. So it's not like there's a huge lack of great work. I think we're not seeing all of it entered. We have to focus on those technologists that really see their future in a creatively driven organization. If you're a technologist and you have your heart set on joining a big tech firm, then you're going to join anyway. No agency can attract that person. But if you make a play for, you are a very technically astute person, but you want to be in an environment which is all about ideas and all about bringing those ideas to the world, then you can make a case for agencies being that kind of job opening. But it is very tough. Every country in Asia has this issue. Personally, when I was working in India, where there are a huge number of technologists, that's exactly the problem. You have these huge technology conglomerates like TCS, they just snap up the best talent. So it is tough. We have to, I think, play up our creative aspects, our fun aspects. That could help us attract them. There are brands that try and do co-creation and the consumer is just not interested because it's a low interest category rather. You have a very high interest category, cars, for example, technology. People love their Apple iPhone. People love their Lexus car. They may want to have a dialogue. People don't care so much about, for example, a soap detergent. So I think the issue is, first of all, only really ask the consumer to take part if the consumer is genuinely interested. And then you have to find ways of managing that conversation. You have to find ways of making sure that the consumer doesn't really rip your brand to shreds. And again, a lot of brands aren't ready for that. Frankly, you've got to be a brand which is self-confident enough to be able to take criticism, because communication is a two-way thing. And as we've seen on Facebook and on Twitter, a brand can be praised, but a brand can be completely and utterly torn apart. So again, I think clients themselves, many of them, should enter the whole co-creation territory with some care. It may not be right for you. I think it's an area agencies must embrace. I think agencies over the years have allowed themselves to be marginalized, where they are not giving or doing ideas about products, they're simply doing the branding. A great way of thinking about this is, years ago, for example, the Colgate toothpaste with the strips, that was an agency idea. An agency came up with the idea of making a detergent. They called it blue whiteness. They would actually come up with product ideas with the client. That stopped, and I think at this point agencies should look at developing their own intellectual property. You mentioned 2 agencies. There are other agencies that do it. It's a tricky area. I've actually been involved in it myself. You have to learn a lot. You have to learn about the legal aspects of it, the investment aspects. But let's face it, agencies are always complain that we don't get paid properly for our ideas. If we do a huge campaign that generates millions of dollars of revenue from a client, we only get a very small fraction of that. Is that fair? Of course it's not fair. How do you make it fair? You could think about doing your own product and marketing that, or doing your own product and licensing it. Then your big ideas will generate you more income, but more than that, they'll give you the satisfaction of being truly creative. So I think it's an area that agencies haven't really gone into enough, and they really should, because other companies will if they don't.